Hello, my name is Eric Story. I am your Special Districts Manager, and today I bring before you General Fund reimbursement of service charges to special districts. Recommendation: the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the City Manager to approve a transfer in the amount of $168,247.67 for reimbursement of sidewalk service charges, including interest, to 21 landscape maintenance districts, Fund 120 from the General Fund 101 with the corresponding budget appropriation adjustments. Recommendation for City Council that the City Council approve and authorize the City Manager to approve a transfer in the amount of $168,247.67 for reimbursement of sidewalk service charges, including interest, to 21 landscape maintenance districts, Fund 120, from the General Fund, Fund 101, with the corresponding budget appropriation adjustments. On screen is a map of special districts in the city of Oxnard. Background: the Special Districts Division of the Public Works Department is responsible for the maintenance, operation, and administration of the city's 50 special districts, including bonded and non-bonded community facilities districts, landscape maintenance districts, waterways maintenance assessment districts, and a maintenance assessment district. Each of these special districts have specific individual authorized services and improvements, including but not limited to park landscapes, open spaces, parkways, medians, and other public improvements, and recreation and park amenities such as picnic shelters, restrooms, arbors, and fountains. Properties within each district are assessed an annual parcel charge for the purposes of maintaining the improvements and other authorized services within their district. At the end of 2017, the Streets Division implemented a concrete grinding program to preserve and improve city infrastructure. On August 15th, 2019, the city issued a request for proposal for a 3-year on-call sidewalk, curb, gutter, and concrete grinding service. The city contracted with BPR Inc. for these services. The contract required BPR to provide a job report that identifies the street names and the locations where the work had been performed. City staff was responsible for inspecting the contractor's work and in processing the invoices for the completed work. There are several districts that contain both sidewalks that are identified as authorized improvements and sidewalks that are not identified as authorized improvements within the borders of the district, pursuant to the City Council approved Consolidated Engineers Report. For example, LMD 28 is only responsible for the sidewalk maintenance along Bahia Drive between Gonzales Road and Grande Street, Entrada Drive between Gonzales Road and Caliente Way, and the south side of Caliente Way between Bahia Drive and Corto. All other sidewalks within the boundaries of LMD 28, as identified in the Consolidated Engineers Report, are maintained by the Streets Division using non-assessment funding. In September 2023, a resident brought to the division's attention that there may have been charges for sidewalk displacement grinding services in LMD 28 that were charged to the LMD instead of charged to a non-assessment funding. After reviewing the completed sidewalk maintenance records for LMD 28, the inaccurate charges were confirmed by special district staff. Thereafter, staff began reviewing the sidewalk maintenance records for all of the other districts. This resulted in a confirmation of inaccurate maintenance charges to 20 additional LMDs for sidewalk maintenance that should have been charged to non-assessment funds. It should be noted that out of an abundance of caution, staff from the City Manager's Office, as an independent reviewer from the special district staff, has been asked to do a review of all of the authorized services and improvements for any similar inaccuracies that may have occurred in each district during the past 6 fiscal years. A separate staff report of this review will be provided to the City Council with recommended adjustments, including earned interest calculated by the Finance Department. Special district staff have completed the review of each LMD's authorized sidewalk services and improvements. The following landscape maintenance districts have authorized sidewalk improvements: Staff reviewed the invoices and job reports for sidewalk work that was performed in fiscal year 2017-18 through fiscal year 2021-22. There were no contractor provided sidewalk services before 2017 or after 2022 for the Special Districts Division. Staff then cross-referenced the LMD's authorized service locations against the locations where these services were provided. A total of 17 invoices that identified 7,850 locations were reviewed. A large majority of these locations were outside of the LMD's authorized service locations, but were still within the LMD boundaries. In LMDs 30, 31, 41, 49, 50, and 55, there were no findings of unauthorized service charges that would necessitate reimbursement. The special district staff members who processed the majority of the invoices for sidewalk services from fiscal year 1920 through fiscal year 21-22 are no longer employed with the city. Therefore, the current staff are unable to verify the processes and quality control that were used during the timeframe of the charges. Therefore, out of an abundance of caution, an additional review of past services is underway to identify any inaccurate service charges that are not consistent with the consolidated engineer's report. Upon completion of the audit for all of these services that were provided for each district, the Special Districts Division will submit a separate staff report to the City Council that includes all findings and any recommended corrective actions. The recommended corrective action for the sidewalk maintenance charges for the LMDs is a reimbursement with earned interest for 21 LMDs in the total amount of $168,247.67 for sidewalk service charges that were performed outside of the district's responsibility. Financial impact. The total cost of this reimbursement is $168,247.67, which includes the reimbursement of the service charges plus earned interest. The reimbursement will come from anticipated general fund salary savings in the Public Works Department to be transferred into each assessment district's fund. Depending on the fiscal year 23-24 actual expenditures, the reimbursement may also come from any unspent operating budget in the Streets Division, which has Measure O assigned for sidewalk repairs. This option was added to the staff report after this item was discussed at the Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting on 2/27/24. The interest reimbursement adjustment was calculated taking into consideration the date that the payment was posted to the general ledger to adjust the average cash balance for each district. Using the updated average cash balance, the interest allocation was recalculated for each district. The difference between the revised interest allocation and the original interest allocation is the proposed interest reimbursement. Each district will receive the reimbursement in their individual reserve accounts, and these reimbursements will also be identified in the consolidated engineer's report as part of the fiscal year 24-25 budget process. Staff are available for questions. Thank you.